Hi, it's Liz back with the art of frosting. I am here in Milan and oh my god, is it hot! But we're gonna try to make something gorgeous for you anyway. We're making tiramisu from the north. It's a little bit different, has a little rum in it, little twist. This is my dear friend Ivana. She is the owner of Ivana Panaderia, which is a bread bakery here where they make the most delicious things. So Ivana is going to introduce this sweet dessert.
Ciao!
Ciao. And I'm going to introduce our two lovely helpers, which are Valentina and Alice.
Hi!
Let's get started.
Questa sera faremo un dolce tipico italiano che si chiama tiramisù. È un dolce che facciamo noi qui nel nord Italia, un dolce molto classico, però che si può fare in tanti modi. Noi questa sera vi presenteremo il modo più semplice per poter fare questo tiramisù.
We're going to do today a typical Italian dessert called tiramisu. It's a very simple recipe, but really tasty, very, very delicious. It's typical from the north of Italy, but there are many versions of all around the country. And tonight we're going to show you how to make the most simple, but also the most classic version.
So for this recipe, we're using fresh eggs. Now this recipe does have raw eggs in it. So that's a little bit different than what we do in the States. It's going to have some dark chocolate for decoration as well as some fruit for decoration. We're going to use some coffee brewed, of course, some mascarpone cheese or mascarpone. We're going to use some powdered chocolate, some rum, granulated sugar, and ladyfingers. We're also going to use a strainer for the chocolate and a beater for the eggs.
Ok, adesso iniziamo con la preparazione della crema e iniziamo dalle uova. Dividiamo i rossi dai bianchi.
We're going to start with the eggs. We're going to divide the red part from the white part. And we need 5 eggs for 500 grams of mascarpone cheese.
Ok, se vuoi aiutarmi.
We are separating the white from the red of the egg because in this way our recipe will be lighter. If you put the white on, it's gonna be pretty foamy and kind of heavy. So we want something light and very tasteful. Okay, so now we're gonna add some sugar. We need 2 tablespoons of sugar for each yolk of egg. You don't want to put too much sugar in it because it's already sweet. So 2 is plain enough for each egg. So we added 10 tablespoons of sugar to 5 yolks of eggs. I know I called it reds of the eggs before, but we call it like that. It's yolks of eggs. We're gonna whip it until it becomes a very heavy cream, and then we're gonna add the mascarpone cheese. Okay. So you don't want to whip it at high. When it changes color, it's a good thing. It has to be kind of very, very light white, very, very light yellow color or almost white. That it depends on the color of the yolks. If you get darker yolks, it will be a little bit more yellow, but it has to be very light color. Okay. This has to be the right consistency. Should have the cream.
Ok.
You don't want it to be too thick, but you don't want it to be too smooth. Now we add the mascarpone cheese. And we whip it again. It's 500 kilograms of mascarpone cheese for 5 yolks of eggs and 10 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. Mix it for about 1 minute until it's fully incorporated. And this is the right consistency. Okay, now we're gonna add, you will need a cup of coffee. Yeah, and we're gonna add rum to the coffee, or you can also add it to the cream according to if you want a stronger flavor or if you want a lighter flavor. If you add it to the cream, it's gonna be a little bit stronger. So we're gonna do something for anyone. You need to add about a full cup of rum, and then we're gonna make it drunk like this. And then we're gonna dip the lady fingers in the coffee, but make sure you want to do a base of cream first, just to create base. Dip the lady finger in the coffee, but make sure not to dip it too much, otherwise it becomes too wet and it melts in the cream. Okay. Since now on, we're gonna make different layers of cream and lady fingers. If you want, you can add some things in the middle, like fruit or chocolate, to make it a little bit different. We're putting a little bit of shaved chocolate in this one to add a chocoholic flavor. You don't need a lot, just a tiny bit. Or you can also add chocolate chips, different flavors of chocolate chip, like white chocolate or dark chocolate, anything you like. We're gonna add a little fruit in this one. Don't put too many because we're gonna make different layers, so there's gonna be a lot anyway. Today we used 3 small dishes, but if you want, you can put all in one.
This is so beautiful. It really doesn't need anything else, but of course you guys know me, and more is always more. And it's my turn to show a little bit of decorating. So the girls told me that we need to use this strainer, a very fine strainer, and use a little bit of cacao or cocoa powder, and you're just going to sprinkle lightly on top. So we'll add just a little bit. It's really pretty and it gives a nice little flavor as well. And you can see you only just need a tiny, tiny bit. It's really beautiful. Next, we're going to add another little bit of mascarpone. This says it's 250 grams. So for you Americans, it's probably about a cup. And the other was probably about 2 cups. So I'm just going to use our dish here and put the mascarpone back in. We want this to be just a little bit sweeter. I'm probably going to use my hand here, old bakery trick, and add about a 1/4 cup in. And you could add some vanilla here or any kind of liqueur, a little Grand Marnier maybe, but because we're going to have rum, we're going to add just a little bit more. And earlier, Valentina here said a full cup full, but we really mean a cap full. If you add a full cup, it's probably going to be a little too soft and maybe a little too strong for most tastes. So I'm just going to mix this up. So there is nothing better than cheese in Italy. Mascarpone with a little sugar, delicious. It's a little lighter flavor than cream cheese if you haven't tried it before, but it really doesn't substitute for cream cheese. You need mascarpone for this recipe because it's much, much lighter. So I'm going to put a little decoration on. Okay, so I have a parchment bag here with a number 23 tip, the same one I always use. Magically, I happen to have one in Milan. Thanks to Valentina, she brought it home from Grants Pass, Oregon. So I'm just going to add my pastry cream in my bag. Now, this is going to be very wet and your bag's not going to last long. So probably a plastic bag might work a little better if you have to do many of these. So I'm just going to do one, and all we really want in the center here, want to guide, hold it at a 45-degree angle, squeeze around, even pressure, and just build. If you guys saw my cupcake video, it's exactly like that. Release to a point. So even pressure all the way around, about 4 times. When you get here, stop, release your pressure, and squeeze up. So I have some very warm chocolate here. I mean, it is hot in Milan today. And so with very room temperature, I'm just gonna take a very sharp blade and scrape it across the top and see if we can't get some curls. There we go. Just start to turn the knife. You get a beautiful curl. You can see that. And just add that right on top. So next, we're just gonna slice a little bit of strawberry. And I want to position them on, so we'll just layer them here. And then just put it on here in kind of a fan. And there's a nice little presentation just on its own. And because more is always more for me, I'm going to add a few blueberries around for garnish. You can see that you can add just little tiny touches, whatever you have in the kitchen. If you had a little basil or mint, you could add. And I'm going to leave one plain just because I can. So we're finished with our decoration and building these beautiful tiramisu. However, the girls told me that it does need to go in the fridge for about an hour or more, even overnight.
Yes.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for joining us here in Milan to learn how to make traditional northern tiramisu. Thanks again for watching. You can always join me at www.theartoffrosting.blogspot.com and at Facebook at The Art of Frosting. And for you serious decorators, you can email me serious questions only at cakedecoratinginstructor@gmail.com. There's tons more to come. Thanks for watching. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe. It's always free. Bye.
Bye. Ciao.